Alright guys, I thought I had to do this video today because I'm just trying to put some logic into the madness out there. This one's a little bit on the racism stuff. Before you switch off, it's not about being racist, it's actually the other way around. Most people aren't racist. That's reality. Most people couldn't care less. It's not a case of they're fixated on it or not fixated on it. People are too busy. People have their own crap going on, and let's face it, Northampton. What's my thoughts on Northampton at the moment? Air quality, bizarrely, because there's always dust coming in out this window, and then there's been some reports around the state of the air in Northampton. The guy with the grinder outside. The shared house I have here, we've got one of the guys is from India, one of the guys is from Nigeria, and everyone else is from everywhere else. We don't even talk about racism or race or whatever. What I do is, like, I'll ask the guy from Nigeria what he puts in his chicken because it's quite strong, because he puts like ground chilies in it. Same as when I speak to May, it's about he does a really nice goat curry that I have now and again, and because he makes it, and then I'll just ask him about it. He goes, "Oh yeah, you can have some." The point being is, as you probably guessed, I'm not racist. I can't be racist. my wife's from the Philippines. My kids are obviously mixed British, Filipino, living in Spain. But it isn't a unique perspective. The reality is, the world changed a long time ago. A lot of the stuff these people are spouting is from probably the 70s and 80s. That's why you sort of scratch your head, because there is no hatred. They're creating the hatred. And what's triggered me this morning on this conversation was I was looking at a video this morning. I can't find where I put the remote. I'm still sat in bed drinking my coffee. Right, it's over there. I'll flip the phone over and grab it. But somebody was on about somebody in the Glasgow Council making false statements about the racism and fighting racism, and the pasty white faces and not enough Muslim women type thing, blah blah blah. The same as, what's his name, Azib Youssef or whatever his name was, the Scotland's first minister by default. I don't think he was elected, was he? He didn't last very long, because I call it out as it is. They're both racist. There's no other word for it. The population of Scotland's probably 95 to 98% white. And the reason for that is the same reason London is more from everywhere else than whites. Why? That shift, same as Birmingham, is economic. Scotland is riddled with drug abuse, alcohol abuse, lack of jobs. What else is wrong with Scotland? Bad weather. I mean, and at the same time, a lot of people are very welcoming, because I'm Scottish Irish. But I probably get more racism than anybody from a foreign nation because they see me as English, and there is some bitter pills. This is why the SNP and that still have a voice, because Scottish Nationalist Party, they're often a weird Marxist. It doesn't, like if I play the guitar, there's certain sounds, right? And there's certain ways to play the music, and there's certain ways of learning, right? So it's very easy to read it, like a book, like Marxism, communism, socialism. But a lot of the stuff they do doesn't follow one path. It's a mess. Hence, you end up with this: I'm the first Muslim Scottish first man, blah blah blah, nonsense. The same as Sadiq did the same thing for London. Do you know what? Everyone else doesn't care. Not because they're anti anything, it's because it shouldn't matter. All it's doing is highlighting your allegiances to a religion. It's highlighting that your personal colour is more important. You've got a chip on your shoulder. And I know myself from looking at things to do with the DEI policies and the way things are manipulated for others. We're in a society that is dumbing down. Look at the IQ levels. Look at the state of the police. Look at the state of many government agencies that invoke a lot of this stuff and then roll it out into corporations. It's a downward spiral. Matt, you're racist. No, because you probably noticed I didn't say it about racism. What you've got there is they're creating racism. I work on a very simple thing. I want the best, the brightest, and the ones that can deliver what I need from a business perspective. Race, colour, religion doesn't come into my mind. Don't even think about it. Couldn't care less. In the same way, for most people, that's exactly the same. Where I'm sat in Northampton, do I know what the names are? No. Neighbour here, spoken to twice. Neighbour here, never spoken to them. I've been here for years. People in the UK generally try and hide from each other in a weird way. I speak to more people when I go to the park or when I'm just generally out and about, because I find the park a lot of people are quite friendly, to be fair. But at the same time, there's a blend of things going on which is confusing the situation, because the milling about where large people gather, the noise where pollution that certain people do, that's not race, that's class, an erosion of class. The graffiti increasing, that's class. Like as I said earlier, Scotland's got drug abuse and other problems going on there. That's class, and that's been ongoing for a lot longer than a lot of these people arrived. It's just that the erosion of society is when you're influxing a lot of people without the same civilization. See, I use the word civilization because that triggers some people as well, because civilization is when you civilize a population. But the reality is you create a high trust environment, which is what we had, and it's now moving to low trust, where you got idiots on e-bikes stealing phones and stuff, but people walking along the street, smashing car windows to steal a watch off somebody's wrist. These are things I would expect in somewhere like Rio de Janeiro. The next level will be where they just walk up and shoot somebody for a mobile phone. No? Oh, the bloody used to do it in the Philippines. They'd kill you in a heartbeat. But guess what? Not the people that are doctors, not the people that are engineers, not the people that are surgeons, not the people that have a normal job. It is normally people at the bottom end of the pool that often blame everybody else for their problems. It goes back to the beginning. This is why these problems are not around race. It's around people believing they're owed a living by others, and that's it. And the problem is, you and I, we work for a living. We're too busy for this. We look at it and think, that's a load of nonsense, idiots, and we move on. They become councillors. They become the Mayor of London. They become the First Minister of Scotland. They become the representative of countries while hating the population that are indigenous to it based on a lie. I mean, it's a bit like this whole slavery thing. I never had any slaves. None of my family have ever had slaves. It's not even in our bloodline. But the hatred, oh, you're white enough for me, mate. You're white enough, scum. Yeah, guess who's the racist? Not me. And slavery is not around poor me because I'm black. No, slavery is the tribes in Africa doing it to each other. The Romans did it to the Germanics, and also the British. The British were part of it, but then you've got East India Company and other stuff, and then everybody's embedded with each other. These people just haven't moved on for the last few hundred years and hoping that the hatred will drive them forward. That's what needs broken, because I hear it from Scottish people about the hatred of the English, and I'm like, you're a moron. And I'm Scottish. Why? English don't hate the Scots. There is still degrees of um, disliking, but let's move on. Grow up. Thanks for watching.